Crashlands is now on the Nintendo Switch, and for the first time, it's got couch co-op. Now, I had never played Crashlands before. I don't really know why. I've seen it before, and I always thought that looks kind of interesting, but I never jumped into it and tried it out myself. So when the developer reached out and sent me a review copy, I was pretty excited to sit down and check it out. The game starts off with a ridiculous story. You are basically a space delivery man, and you are on the clock, very much on the clock. The powers at B want you to get whatever it is that you're delivering to whoever it is you're delivering it to as fast as possible, and you are on the way. You're doing everything that you're supposed to do, and then this weird, like bodiless creature shows up out of nowhere, and they say that they need something off of your ship, and you say, well, hold on now, if you take that means our ship would blow up. And they say, no problem, that's exactly what I need. So they take the thing, your ship blows up, and you have to quickly get into the escape hatch and land on the nearest planet, which I've forgotten the name of the planet now, but you are now a survivor on this planet, and that is what kind of game it is. It is a survival game where you have to go out and gather supplies and use those supplies to build materials in order to make new tools, which allow you to get more supplies, which allow you to make new materials, and you just keep advancing the tech tree forward. I was curious as to how big the tech tree is, and I went to their wiki, and wow, there's a lot of stuff that you can make in Crashlands, which means that you can easily be absorbed by this game for a very long period of time. It is a very relaxing game. It very much reminds me of Terraria and Minecraft in a way that whenever playing Minecraft, I can easily find myself distracted and kind of fall into a zone where I'm just mining for iron or diamonds or something, and the whole game just kind of fades away, and I'm just on the search for that one thing. And that same kind of thing happened with Crashlands. I was looking for some soil that I could use to make fertile dirt in order to plant some seedlings in, and I was having trouble finding it. And while I was looking for it, I figured, well, I'll chop down some trees or pick up some saw blades. And next thing I know, I had traveled like really, really far away from my base. I had discovered multiple teleporters to get back to this area. And I hadn't found the dirt that I was looking for, but I had just abundant of supplies I could make anything out of wood that I wanted because I'd been out there just chopping down trees for so long. There's something very satisfying and relaxing about games like this, like Terraria and Minecraft and Crashlands. And, you know, if I were a developer, I would love to have my game compared to Minecraft and Terraria because those are some fantastic games. And I think Crashlands is a lot like those and very, very enjoyable as well. The thing that it has that the other two games doesn't have or don't have, I think would be the proper grammar, is hilarious dialogue. You are not all alone. You have a little robot with you, and the robot and you have hilarious dialogue, back and forth banter between the two of you. It's really, really fun to read that stuff. And in addition to that, it also has couch co-op. So if you want, you can sit down and one of you is, I forget his name, the pink guy, and the other guy, the other player turns into the little robot guy. And the pink guy and the robot guy walk around and they do stuff, and it's really, really fun. I'm looking forward to playing more of this game. I think that the graphics look really good. The sound is okay. There's nothing really that jumps out at me about the sound, but I like the way that the graphics look. Everything looks hand-drawn and cartoony, and it's just a very, very appealing game, and very unique art direction, I feel like. And overall, I think that it's very fun. Now, let's talk about the combat really quick. The combat will vary depending on what weapon you are using. So far, I have only unlocked swords, but I saw a couple videos where you can unlock guns and stuff. And I was fighting various monsters, and they all have different attack patterns, which I thought was really cool. So there are these space goat guys, and you fight against those, and they will jump up into the air and come flying down like Womp from Mario. And like one of the things that I do is I will throw a space wrench at them to stun them, and then they're stunned for a second, and I'll get out some quick hits, and then I have to retreat until they hit the ground again, and then I run in and get a few more quick hits. And then there's these weird floating squids that I was fighting up against, and they had a very different attack pattern where they would put a telegraph, and the telegraphs in the game are good. You know exactly where you're allowed to stand. You know exactly where you're not allowed to stand, and if you are standing where you're not supposed to stand, you are very severely punished for it. The squid guys, they have a more of a long and narrow telegraph, so you get a couple of quick hits in, and then what I found was the best way to fight against these guys was to run to the end of the telegraph, because that's where they were going to end up, and so I could keep hitting them. I was fighting one of these guys once, and they one-shot me. I can't remember if I had a lot of health at the time or not, but they took me out quick. So if you are in the way, or if you are getting into the telegraph, then it's very easy for you to become overwhelmed very quickly. So you want to make sure that you are as careful as possible during the combat. You can also make armors and stuff. So right now my character is running around in wooden armor, but I have the option to go after those goats and get their skins and use a skinning where you stretch out the leather over a thing to dry it out. I can't remember. But you can make like leather armor instead, and I'm sure that there's going to be a whole bunch of other stuff that I can eventually unlock and check out. I'm having a lot of fun with Crashlands, and if Diablo wasn't out right now, that'd probably be where all of my time was being spent. With Smash Brothers coming out in less than a month, that's going to be taking up a lot of my time. So I'm trying to get in as much Crashlands as I can right now, knowing that I'm going to be very, very distracted soon. So I think that Crashlands is going to suffer from a bad release window. Just like if you don't care about Diablo and you don't care about Smash, then I think that this is definitely a cool indie game that you want to check out, because it's really, really fun. But dropping right between those two, because this came out on November 8th, dropping right between Diablo and Smash that's just a very scary proposition for, I think the name of the company who makes it is Butterscotch Shenanigans, which is an awesome name. And if the name of the company doesn't convince you that this game is hilarious, then I don't know what else to say.